Ever wonder what mortgage rate could ignite a buyer frenzy in San Diego's housing market similar to a Black Friday rush? Today, I'll unveil the magic mortgage rate that experts say could turn the market on its head. Don't miss out on this deep dive into the numbers that could set San Diego in motion like never before. Is all the talk on the news about the San Diego rental market cooling down actually true? Or is it only catching its breath? Today, we're diving deep into the pulse of the local rental market and what recent shifts could mean for your wallet. Stick around as we break down these rental market changes and what they can mean for you. Curious about what's shaping the real estate market across the US? Knowing the San Diego numbers is great, but having an additional understanding of what the nation is experiencing can further prepare us for what's to come. The latest Fannie Mae Home Price Index reveals some intriguing trends. I'll share with you what they had to say about the recent market performance and what possibly lies ahead. All this covered here in this week's San Diego Market Matters, and I'm Karl Kyler, your San Diego Realtor. If you're new to the channel, please consider liking this video and subscribing to stay up to date on all the material I post about the San Diego market. And real quick, if you're thinking of selling or buying here in San Diego, check out the link I have in the description below where you can schedule a meeting with me so we can discuss your goals and how I can help you achieve them. Or you're welcome to call me directly. I have people like you reaching out to me regularly to help them with their next move, whether it's buying or selling here in San Diego. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the good stuff. Picture a mortgage rate. A mortgage rate that lights up the housing market like a match dropped on a well-stacked, kerosene-soaked charcoal grill. Suddenly, everything is cooking. Well, experts have found that that magic mortgage rate is just under 5.5%, a number so compelling we could see homeowners rushing to sell or refinance. Well, what makes this rate the key to our market? That's exactly what I'll unpack here. For over a decade, stemming back to 2010, homeowners and buyers have enjoyed historically and ridiculously low mortgage rates, often below 5%. This era of cheap borrowing has done two things. Number one, these low rates have shaped expectations, creating a mental anchor that's tough to shake off, especially for first-time buyers that jumped in the market between 2015 and 2020. These previous buyers, they're stuck in the past like Doc from Back to the Future 3. That is, until Marty comes and saves them. And the second thing, the previous 5% and lower interest rates have financially locked homeowners into their homes and renters into the rental market. Today, even as we see rates hovering around 6.5%, the longing for rates to drop to that magic level remains strong and crucially essential to getting the market moving again. And with 90% of homeowners having a mortgage rate below 5.5%, this makes sense as to why so many are holding out. Insights from John Burns' real estate consulting survey discover a key barrier in the housing market, that 47%, nearly half of current homeowners are on standby, holding out for mortgage rates to drop below that 5.5% mark before they commit to purchasing a home. This magic rate is perceived as the tipping point for affordability, making it a critical psychological and financial threshold. In stark contrast, the current rates hovering around 6.5% aren't only dampening buyer enthusiasm like a wet towel or soggy cereal, but they're also stifling the refinance market. In San Diego, the impact of elevated rates is clear as buyer demand struggles to keep up with an inventory that has surged over 50% since last year. And yet, home price growth remains in the single digits. With affordability being the buzzword at the moment with regards to mortgages and the state of the economy in general, in a city like San Diego that is known for its high property values, even a small reduction in rates can make a big difference for consumers. If, or when, if you want to be an optimist about it, mortgage rates were to fall to this magic number, we will likely see a surge in both buying and selling activities, increasing transaction volume and price growth. Experts aren't predicting a drop to 5.5% anytime soon, yet consumer sentiment is optimistic about a future decline. This hope, or perhaps daydreaming, is likely keeping many potential buyers on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment to enter the market. Now, this is fair if the reluctance is due to affordability concerns. However, I suspect that a significant number of buyers are holding back because of false pretense. believing that they cannot afford a current rate when in fact they might manage a 6% rate. This hesitation is tied to a decade-long condition of expecting rates at 5% or lower. For those of you considering entering the real estate market, whether buying or selling, it's crucial to look beyond the interest rates. Focus on the broader market conditions, inventory levels, and most importantly, your personal financial situation. Remember, the key factor isn't only the rate, but whether you can comfortably afford the mortgage payments regardless of what the market determines the rate to be. If rates drop in the future and you have the chance to refinance, that could be an added bonus, further reducing your costs. And by the way, Dave Ramsey himself advocates this very same thing. Now, it's your time to weigh in. Do you think waiting for the magic rate is a savvy move? Or would it be wiser to enter the market now before potential rate cuts? The data shows many are holding out for lower rates, but consider this. If everyone rushes when rates drop, could you end up facing stiffer competition than ever? Stiffer than all those men's ads talk about with regards to a small blue chewable. Share your thoughts below and let's discuss your strategies for navigating these market conditions. Now, let's make our way into something that's happening in our rental market. As we sift through the flurry of media reports on rental markets both locally and nationally, it's important to consider how these shifts are affecting us here in San Diego, whether you're a renter, a buyer, homeowner, or a landlord. With an increasing number of properties available and rent prices subtly adjusting, understanding these market dynamics is critical. Today, we'll explore these changes to equip you with the insights needed to navigate San Diego's diverse rental landscape, no matter what your stake in the market is. Rental prices are showing signs of relaxation after a feverish climb from 2020 to 2023, with the national median asking rent experiencing a slight year-over-year decrease. This provides a ton of relief to renters who are worried about moving into a new rental and to those worried about their rents going up. But here in San Diego, the story takes a unique twist. While the national average for a two-bedroom hovers around $1,930, San Diego paints a different picture with significantly higher values. Now, let's break this down. Currently, Zillow.com reports a median rent for a three-bedroom detached home in San Diego that stands at $4,213, a significant dip from last year's average of $4,400. This decline is more than just numbers. It reflects a change in the landscape where renters might find a bit more breathing room in their budgets. Similarly, Zillow.com reports two-bedroom attached homes are now renting at $2,957, down from last year's $3,203, indicating a softening market that could benefit renters looking for more affordable options. And I'll use that word affordable very loosely. In our deep dive in San Diego's rental market, it's crucial to understand what it takes to financially live comfortably here. According to the data from apartments.com, an individual should ideally earn $7,800 per month or $93,600 annually to afford their reported average rent of $2,340, which by the way is much lower than Zillow.com is reporting, but that's the inherent problem with averages. This guideline suggests spending no more than 30% of your income on rent, and considering additional expenses beyond just rent can give you a more complete picture of the financial readiness needed to live in San Diego. With over 5,000 rentals across San Diego, the supply seems robust. It's surpassing even the for sale home inventory. This glut is a better dealt hand for renters who now have the upper hand to negotiate better terms and rates. For instance, some renters have successfully negotiated discounts such as reduced rent for the first month or a slight reduction on monthly payments. With the average days on market ticking up to 46 days, landlords are feeling the pressure to lower prices or offer incentives in lieu of going another month without rent on their rental. As we look towards the future, the key question remains: how will these trends evolve? If the national downtrend in rental prices continues, we might see San Diego's rental market further align with broader conditions. However, given our city's high desirability and the unique market dynamics, a significant shift is likely to happen gradually. It's important to note that rental values traditionally correlate with purchase prices. Historically, buying property purely for rental income hasn't been financially sensible in San Diego. Investments here have typically banked on being a secure place to park your cash and on appreciation rather than rental returns. Currently, competition from investors has eased, which could be a silver lining for non-investor buyers if rental prices continue to soften or plateau. This might keep more investors at bay. Additionally, with growing competition among rentals, some landlords might consider pivoting to short-term rental options, especially in a vacation hotspot like San Diego. This potential shift could reinvigorate our Airbnb market, adding another option for investment strategies in our area. Now, I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think lower rates are on the horizon, or is this just a temporary blip? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now let's wrap this week's show up with a recent market report from Fannie Mae, one of the largest home loan suppliers. The third quarter of 2024 has brought some critical insights into the housing market. Despite a slight deceleration, the Fannie Mae Home Price Index shows a robust annual increase of 5.9%. This slower growth rate reflects a move towards stabilization, influenced by two things: a tight supply of existing homes and changing buyer sentiments. Interestingly, the shift from concerns over mortgage rates to worries about high home prices marks a significant change in buyer priorities. Mark Palem, Fannie Mae's chief economist, notes that despite falling mortgage rates and a slight improvement in home supply, purchasing activity remains stagnant. This suggests that the market is still largely driven by affordability challenges and the lock-in effect. The lock-in effect is the impact of previously super low interest rates, essentially locking homeowners in from selling and buying because they either can't afford to buy a new home at a newly elevated interest rate, or the fact that they have a rate that is so low they can't find a strong enough reason to justify getting rid of the property to give up that rate. As home price growth continues to decelerate, it's clear that we're inching towards a more balanced market. Now let me be extra clear here. Growth deceleration does not mean the market is coming down. It means the rate at which it is growing is slowing down, but prices are still going up. This is nationally, so there are gonna be one-off places here and there that will be experiencing price decline, but overall, the entire US real estate market is experiencing growth. That's how averages work. This gradual shift in price growth could mean that we'll eventually see a market that accommodates to both buyers and sellers more equitably, though changes are likely to unfold slowly over time. Bottom line, all the fear-based clickbait thumbnails about the housing crash are only a means to chase views and fill YouTuber wallets. The point of me sharing this report with you is to give you an additional understanding on top of all of the other reports I share with you on the status of the real estate market, as well as what we experience here locally. As of this week, PCE inflation reported at 2.2 in August as we wait for September's report. Unemployment is sitting at 4.1% and our GDP is up at 3%. Now I get that some of us are stifled with the cost of living right now, and that some of you are hoping for a market crash so the opportunity to buy may become a reality. But real estate isn't like cryptocurrency. Expecting a 2008 crash again is a long shot. A very, very long shot. But enough of me ranting already. Let's hear what you have to say. Am I full of shit, or could the data actually be telling the truth? Drop your thoughts, good or bad, in the comments below. And that's a wrap for this week's San Diego Market Matters video. If you found this information valuable, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're thinking of moving to San Diego, check out this video I posted about the 8 things every buyer should know before moving here. As always, I'm Karl Kyler, your San Diego Realtor. I'll see you next video.